But Jesus is not saying it's not wrong to judge. He's saying it's wrong to judge hypocritically. In fact, you're going to have to judge if you're going to obey Jesus. Because in the context of this verse that Jesus is saying, and this is where we're getting to the part where we need to understand what Jesus is really saying when he talks about judging. He's talking about we need to judge by not being hypocrites. And so if we go down to verse 12, same chapter, just down a paragraph, Jesus says, watch out. And that's a kind of a synonym for judge rightly. Watch out for false prophets. They come to you in sheep's clothing. They look a certain way on the outside, but inwardly they're ferocious wolves. Be discerning. Be a good judge of inner versus outer. Watch out for false teachers. And he goes on to say, by their fruit you will recognize. And that's kind of a synonym for judge, discern, right? You'll discern them, you'll recognize them by their fruit. Every good tree, this is a judgment, what's good or bad. Every good tree bears good fruit, but a bad tree bears bad fruit. You have to judge right and wrong to know good from bad. A good tree cannot bear bad fruit, and a bad tree cannot bear good fruit. So he goes on to say, thus, by their fruit you will judge, recognize, discern them by their life. By the good or bad fruit. So we're called by Jesus to examine, to look at good and bad fruit and decide true and false from it. And if we don't know how to do that, we're not going to be able to obey Jesus because we're not going to be able to walk in the truth. We're going to be fooled by false teaching. The key is to recognize without being hypocritical, without condemning, to take out the speck without taking out the person. To slow down and have a sense of self-awareness and always assume you've got this big plank in your eye that you can't see. So don't get on your moral, spiritual high horse, but simply have this discernment of good and bad and false and true without having a sense of self-righteousness.